What's up everyone, I'm Mech and welcome to another video. This is part 2 of the series where I show you how my studio was built. So in part 1 I showed you how we took off the roof, lifted it and built a room-in-room construction. And in this part we're going over how the acoustics were built and the overall design. So if you've been following me on Instagram, you might have noticed that I've been building this studio for the past 8 months and I shared a lot of the process already over there. You can still watch it if you go to my Instagram handle. So this custom studio is built by Menno from Menno Sound Studio, and I'll leave a link in the description to his website, and you can also find him on Facebook as Menno Sound Studio. So Menno designed the studio and helped me immensely with construction for precision stuff and answering a barrage of questions I fired his way during the whole process. So additionally, the visual design was made by Gisbert, and Gisbert has an Instagram and his handle you can find right here. So before we continue, I want to show you another thing I've been working on for the last couple of months, and that is a brand new website. And on my new website I offer services like lessons and coaching, mixing and mastering, and I even built a new store where you can now find the first part of the full course for Digitect, and more parts will soon follow, as well as things like sample packs and presets. So head over to my website davemech.live and check it out. Alrighty, so with that out of the way, let's focus on the interior build of my studio. So first up was laying the top layer of the floor. And for this I chose PVC laminate flooring because it's easy to construct and easy to keep clean. And it was available in this concrete look, which fit perfectly with the design we had in mind for the rest of the studio. Although this gold stuff looks radiant, it's not suited to act as a real floor, of course. It's a thin layer which will make sure the top layer won't resonate against the bottom layer. And here is how it looks finished. Hell yeah! I'm actually moving in the studio already. It's not finished yet, obviously. We need to do the acoustics still. But yeah, my girlfriend kicked me out. The music and all, she's done with the music and the whole gear and cable stuff. I really can't blame her. So here we are. Oh. I'm gonna connect the computer and set up my synths and so I can work here for now. As you can hear, acoustics aren't that great yet, but at least nobody can hear me. So that's good. All right, here we go. So I got some acoustic panels, which already helps. You can hear it's less echoey in here. So this is the back wall right now. Now I'm gonna close up this compartment of the sliding door that will make it even more soundproof. So that's cool. And of course, another point being the bass trap is going to be mounted on this wall. So I need a wall. I just bought that beam and I'm going to screw it into the wall right now. Then I have these two panels. They're going to fit over here and here. So that's it. Let's get pushing. I sealed the sliding door. Woohoo! This studio is going to be a dark one. When you look for studios online, most of them look bright and white, and it's very nice as well. But for me personally, I work better in an environment when it's a bit darker. Additionally, with proper lighting, I can set the mood a little to get this sci-fi look, which gets me in the mood of producing music. So for the base color, Gisbert chose a very nice gray that has hints of green and brown in it. Today I'm going to paint the walls. Yeah, so I totally forgot to press record on the camera, so well, I have no image of me painting these walls. This wall is already done. So painting is done, as you can see. Ta-da! Ceiling and every wall is done. So today I'm building the frame for the bass trap. Basically what it is, I'm building this frame that is mounted onto the wall like this. Still need to make one vertical beam right here, vertical beam right there, and then build a frame for the air conditioning to be mounted upon. So I'm building it myself, but the design is by Menno Sound Studio, and I'll put a link to his Facebook page and the website in the description. It's really cool. It's like it's sort of IKEA, but a little bit different, I guess. So today what I'm doing is building the bass traps for the front of the room. So as you can see, I've already been busy. So I don't have a lot of time left to finish up the studio. I have 1 or 2 weeks left. So I'll try to record as much as possible, but I really need to work as much as I can without distraction. Anyway, what I'm doing here is building the frame for the corner wall. I've measured the angle. That is 60 degrees and that one is 30 degrees. So the frame is gonna go like this. On top will be mounted against the walls there and there. And that's a big freaking bass trap right there. So let's continue there. As you can see, what I'm doing here is trying to make the frame as straight as possible. So I'm using these L brackets to mount them for now. So the beams still have a little bit of wiggle room to adjust to make sure they're absolutely straight. And the same thing I'm going to do here at the other side. Use those L brackets to mount them and secure them. And then use long screws to really secure these two parts. So here we see the corner traps and how they are filled up with isolation material. For this first layer, the same material has been used as the box-in-box isolation. The second layer is a slightly denser and less thick material made out of recycled PET bottles. So we're here at Fabulous Lab with Menno Sound Studio. Hello Menno.
Hi.
This is a CNC machine. And with that machine we're gonna make custom faceplates for the bass traps in the studio. I can assure you that hearing that sounds for 2 days straight made me kind of crazy, even with protective earplugs in. For the back wall and corner traps, Menno designed bass traps that are called resonators. They have a reflective surface with a certain percentage of perforations and certain isolation material behind that. The cool thing about these traps is that they reflect higher frequencies, which you can then treat with other acoustic materials on the sidewalls and everything. And additionally, they are very useful to trap sub-frequencies. So because my room is not that big, Menno try to find the balance between having a deep trap and a shallower trap without taking in too much room. So in this next part you will see how that back wall trap is constructed. This is the current state of affairs outside. The weather is freaking horrible. It's just raining constantly. These are the panels, as you can see. And the thing I need to do is remove these guys like this, and then I have a machine to make this smooth again. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Enjoy. Going really well, actually. I had some mishaps, some things that didn't really go well. I had to, cut this acoustic material in such a specific way to make that angle happen, the 30-degree angle. But it worked. It's just a lot of work. And not only have to screw this panel so it stays mounted on the frame, but that's not that much work. So gonna do that right now. But I'm really happy. Look how cool this is. And it's still white. Of course it's gonna be the same color, gray, greenish, that I have on the walls. It's gonna look awesome. All right. So as you can see here, I made a pentagram, sort of. Yeah, devil worshipping is definitely not the reason I built this. It's to create a space of air of 1 centimeter between the isolation material and the back wall. And here it's 2 centimeters, because we have a little bit more room here, because this is where the sliding door fits in, right? And this is just the back wall, so we have a little bit more depth here. That's why we have 2 centimeters of air. Then 14 centimeters of this isolation material. Then 4 centimeters of that isolation material, which is more dense material. So this is a really cool DIY method to create some air in a bass trap. Just using wire. Let's use these little blocks of 1 centimeter thick. And here they are, here they are 2 centimeters thick, to make sure the wire stays 1 centimeter off the wall. So that's it. So today I only have a couple of hours to do some stuff, and today the goal is to fill up the wall with isolation material. As you can see, it's basically the same thing as I did behind the walls, but now we use this stuff for the bass trap. And the cool thing is, you can actually see here, if we look like this, you can see that there's an air gap of about 1 centimeter behind this isolation material. Then we have a layer of 2 centimeters isolation material, and then 6 centimeters, 4 centimeters, I'm sorry. And on top of that, I'm gonna put this isolation material, which is 4 centimeters thick. And here I have a little bit more room, so that's good. So there I put 2 centimeters of air, then 4 centimeters of isolation material. Now a panel of 10 centimeters of isolation material, same thing. And then the 4 centimeter stuff. So I had only one day to finish the traps and paint the panels, because the next day Menno and Gisbert would come over in the early morning to work all day on the design and the acoustics of the studio. So this meant that I worked from 8 AM to 4 AM, pretty much non-stop. Then about 4 hours sleep, and Menno and Gisbert rang the doorbell. Time is ticking away, and it's already 10 o'clock or 10:30. I still have to mount that bass trap plate, but I did finish out this whole part and that corner, so that's good. And I still have to paint everything, so it's a lot of work. I think I'll be done 2 or 3 o'clock at night, and then I have a few hours of sleep. Tomorrow is again a very, very long day. So here we go, last part. So I had 4 hours of sleep, and it turned out we had to work from early morning to late at night again. It really was an epic day, and it was great to see Menno and Gisbert work together. I helped as much as I could, of course, but it was great to see them design and paint on the fly and cut these acoustic panels in the shape of the line structure that Gisbert made. Gisbert creates these incredible line-based paintings and artworks, and the idea for the studio was to add such a design and saw the acoustic panels to fit into the line art. As you can imagine, this was another day of constant work, so I didn't have that much time to film that. I took a lot of pictures and filmed a bit with my smartphone. That's Gisbert.
Ja.
Dag Gisbert.
Hallo.
Menno. Black.
Tour of Duty? Nee, te oud. Ja, zeg maar niet.
Painted black.
Tour of Duty was een serie van Amerikaanse soldaten in de Vietnamoorlog. Ah. Ja.
There goes the tape. Menno and Gisbert, big, gigantic, mega thanks for your effort that day and for working so long from early morning to late at night and just, yeah, going for it, because it was pretty mental how much they did in one day, and I'm really thankful for that. So I'm in my new studio, and yeah, it's nearly finished now. At the back wall I added acoustic material as well, because I heard a tiny bit of reverberation, very short, and with a hint of flutter echo. So I fixed it by adding some extra acoustic panels over there, and the room really sounds great right now. Actually, it's not entirely dead, you know, it's not very super dead dry, and that's a good thing. So it's finding the balance between a little bit of space and a little bit of deadness, I guess. So we're gonna see how it performs when doing final measurements. So I'm really curious. I'm really glad this part is over. It's just a couple of things like closing up the cable trays, eventually get a different desk, because this does not look good in this room right now. Can't wait for it to be completely finished, but I'm really close. Time for a beer and some relaxation. So today I'm going to build a ceiling panel, also called a cloud, and it's going to be pretty thick, 10 centimeters of the recycled jeans material and 4 centimeters of the other black material. So that's 14 centimeters thick panel, and I'm gonna build a wooden frame for it and then hang it from the ceiling. So the ceiling will be a bit lower at that spot, but yeah, it's where I'm sitting, so it doesn't really matter that the ceiling is sort of lower there. It will take care of some first reflections, as well as model frequencies created by reflections from the floor to ceiling. So I think it will have a great effect, especially down around 130, 140 hertz or so, which currently is still a bit of a problem. So let's see how it turns out. So this is the black panel, and I'm gonna saw it in a rectangle. All right, there it is. Panel of 90 centimeters by 2 meters. Perfect. So next up, I'm gonna saw the frame with a hand saw, because I'm old school. And this is the part where the black panel will be resting upon. And then on top of that, the jeans will be put, and then I'm gonna build a frame around that. You'll see in a minute. So let's saw some stuff. So the cloud was mounted on the ceiling with the same system we used for the floating ceiling for the room-in-room construction. Check out the first part of the studio build and you can see what kind of system is used. I also installed these multicolored spots, which are controllable by an app, so I can really set the mood depending on what vibe I want to create. And in my opinion, the overall design is just incredible and I'm super happy with it. And well, here's how it looks. So like I told you, it looks a little bit like a dark science fiction movie. It's just incredible. I love it. I turned down the lights, of course, a little bit, and this blue lighting really works well in the space. So this is one of my favorite lightings when I'm starting to produce. Yeah, it's just incredible. I love it. And I can't thank Menno and Gisbert enough for this because it's a dream come true. So one thing that's missing from the studio right now, but it's gonna be added later, is a nice relaxing couch, you know, for visitors and for myself when I want to chill out for a little bit. So for the next investment in the studio, I'll be buying high-end monitoring. So these babies behind me are about 15 years old, but that's the positive side about that is that I know them inside out. I know exactly how to mix stuff on them. But for my next investment, I'm definitely going to buy bigger and high-end monitoring. So when that time comes, I'll make a third installment of this series showing the whole measurement process and testing speakers probably and that sort of stuff. So for now, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when I release a new video. And let me know in the comments what you think of this project and how it turned out. And I'll see you very soon. Cheers.